If a man cannot plan a date, how can a man plan his life with you?
Femininity is very costly in the modern society. Costly, personally, for a woman.
Trust me, if the guy meets his type and he's really into the woman and he feels there's something going on, he will be persistent.
Dating apps should just die. Woman borrows from something, borrows from male characteristics.
I think it takes about 7 seconds for a woman to know if she likes the man, if she's compatible with him, if she wants to continue.
Sounds about right, yep.
Welcome to The Basic Show with Viktorija Pashuta.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to The Basic Show. Another week, another episode. Today, we have a special episode, a bonus episode that I'm very, very excited about. As a guest, I have my sister, Anna Pashuta. Welcome, Anna, to The Basic Show.
Hello, thank you so much for inviting me again.
Always excited to have you because you do have very unique, and I would say honest, raw opinion. You never sugarcoat things, and that's what I love about you. So today's episode, I want to touch upon a few things. And I know like last time we just dived into different rabbit holes and, dive deep. So today, I think we should speak about things that have maybe a different perspective. Maybe many people will agree. Maybe some people will not, but who cares? We're going to share our opinion to
Exactly. So what is it? What you got for me today?
All right. So let's talk about modern dating.
Ooh.
And let's talk about masculine versus feminine roles in relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to dive deep on feminine qualities and masculine qualities that are important in a man and feminine qualities that are important in a woman while dating. Okay? So where do we freaking start in with this topic? I know it's quite deep.
Okay, of course it's a...
Maybe I can start.
Sure, yeah, go.
So I can start again from my personal experience.
Yeah.
I have a lot of women amongst my acquaintances who are very successful, and they have hard time finding a partner because they work hard, they have crazy schedules, they're very successful, they're busy, and in order to find a partner that matches their intellectual level, maybe meeting their financial expectations, it's hard to find a partner like that. And on the other side, they also cannot be with extremely successful male partners because that usually comes with control, manipulation, and restrictions in their freedom, because most of these women like to be independent, they like to make money, they like to be successful. So let's talk about that a little bit, about the qualities, feminine qualities that successful women lost or maybe should reacquire, or what should they do to kind of, get back to that feminine side of them.
Before we get there, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you, I'm asking, but I already know the answer, but, we're still going to go through this. Do you enjoy hanging out with a person who you feel like is less experienced than you, who is, who is maybe you 20 years ago, who is...
Male or female?
Doesn't matter.
No.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. So this is like a funny thought for me to comprehend that, we do not really enjoy, I don't know, maybe some people do, but I also enjoy hanging out with the person who is opening new kind of, I don't know.
Horizons?
Not horizons, right? But new perspectives for me, right? Like who can teach me things, who can show me something I haven't seen before. Because I think both you and me have seen a lot of things. We had a lot of experiences. I think we tried to have this, vibrant life. And so when you meet a person who hasn't gone through all of that and does not have desire to even experience more, do more, it's kind of a little difficult. Like it can be a conversation, right? But it's not like a amazing experience. And so the thought that is like a little unpleasant to internalize is that when all these successful women are trying to find male partners, are they looking for a man who is better than them?
Oh God.
you know. And it's like, I think it's very, very old school thought, and now probably it has evolved that I don't know, in 50s.
But let's break
Yeah,
it
okay.
down so it's not arrogant, right? Because I think for the thing is, I swear I know a lot of
Yeah.
men listening. They were like, oh, they're too snobby. They're they think too good of themselves. But let's break it down, right? So like you
Okay.
said, if a woman, right, worked hard and went through challenges because she had to, right? She had goals, she had aspirations, she traveled, she met different people, right? So her horizon spiritually, intellectually is way wider, than in a partner that might be next to her that she's trying to date, right? Because obviously the partner that's on the same level probably is, making money somewhere, climbing the Everest. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe he's pursuing his goals that are not, are not in the physical proximity of that woman, right? So going back to the feminine quality,
Yeah.
right? So if we kind of stick to that topic, going back to feminine quality, I guess the question, let me paraphrase, the question is, can we still be feminine and be aspirational and successful and aim for our goals?
I think absolutely yes, yes. Just because we don't see it, it doesn't mean we cannot envision and create it and practice it. I've seen women in Europe, so I think generally in Europe, women give birth earlier and they still have their careers. And I have never seen all of these aspects being the reason why they would be losing their femininity. They would still dress up, they would still have fun, they would still be playful with their partner, and they still pursuing careers, having children. So it is very, very possible. It's just a different way of thinking about life. Here, I think, whatever, LA, United States, there is the boss, bitch, babe, whatever, persona.
Why did you whisper?
I don't know.
Boss bitch.
There was in parentheses. So there's this persona that is being normalized for us women, that we see, okay, this is what I supposed to aspire to, this is what I need to be. And when I sometimes encounter those personalities, not too impressive to me, because I feel like a lot of characteristics are borrowed. The woman borrows from something, borrows from male characteristics. And I think that women who are in high positions, who are bosses, they have their own place, the place of, you don't have to be, for example, I think, okay, controversial opinions, whatever.
Yeah, let's talk specifics.
Like for men, I think it's normal to be, male bosses. You have a presence, you're aggressive, you can lead with intimidation, right? As a male boss, you come in, there's intimidation, sure. You can be bigger than a female, it can be already like, oh, okay, some sign of authority. Our brain recognizes it as, oh, authority, somebody's bigger than me, whatever, right? And this is how men lead, which is fine, whatever, we need that, right? We need both. And when women are trying to do that, and I think it's a learned behavior. They try to do that, and I think it's a little bit disappointing to me, because women do not lean in more into their qualities that I think are very great for leadership. Like, and I find it in myself, but I see sometimes at my workplace it's inconvenient, because it might be a little bit more time consuming. But for example, trying to teach somebody to be better at their job so they can get better at their job, take a higher position, right? It's part of nurturing too, right? So you teach them, you give them feedback, you guide them. Sometimes you push them a little bit. So I had a situation with a colleague. We were working, and I think she was a very, very hard worker. And I think automatic response in the workplace is kind of a bit of an exploitation. It's like, we're not paying for you to do all of this, but you're going to still do it because that's your personality. And I see it, and I see how valuable she's in the company. And I told her, you have to ask for a raise. Like, the time is coming in the year, you have to ask for a raise. And of course, the response is like, oh, no, I don't want to. Like, no, I think, like, no. And I'm scared too. I would be scared to ask for a raise as well. But how do you go around that, you learn, right? You learn how do you
See,
ask for
women
raise.
have less confidence
Yeah.
to
ask.
really to ask for more what they deserve,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you saw that in your colleague and you encouraged her. So that's
Yes.
your nurturing behavior
Yes.
as a female in power.
As a female leader, yes. I encouraged her. I told her how, right? Because you cannot just say, "Oh, go be bold." Told her, go watch YouTube videos, go read a couple of blogs, what words to say, how to bring it up, be professional, be nice, because you have the value. They should pay more. And a few days later, she comes back to me and she's like all excited. Oh my God, I did it!
She did it. She
did it. Yeah. So it's like one of the examples of how instead of being intimidating and trying to like lead with this authority and your stature, whatever, you lead with something else. Right. And I think this is a female characteristic, which is as valuable as just being intimidating just because maybe you're bigger. Right.
Right.
We need both. Right.
But let's go back to the dynamic in a relationship, right? So that's a real valid point in the workplace, right? Or in a society. So let's go back in the dynamic between, romantic relationship. I've been thinking about it and I came to the conclusion that femininity really comes with truly honestly be happy and exude happiness. I think men and women are attracted, right, to happiness, to joy, right? And that again goes back to our previous conversation: find your life purpose, know thyself, right? Know your interests, know what do you like, have hobbies, right? So going back to that, being happy, nobody wants to have or be attracted to a contraceptive phase, or how do you say?
What do you mean by that? Can I dig in?
The contraceptive pill. You have a contraceptive phase. So a phase that you can be the most beautiful, gorgeous girl in the room, but if you don't exude joy, happiness, sense of humor, playfulness, you're not going to be attracted to men, right?
You're not gonna be attractive.
Attractive,
right?
sorry,
They're not gonna find you
attractive to men, right?
Yeah.
Because they are attracted to happy women, a healthy, happy woman, nurture woman who has a sense of humor. And most women lack that because they always put that mask on, right? I have to be strong, I have to be independent, I know my worth.
You know why women put the mask on? I think a lot of women learn early on, if you're an attractive, right, like conventionally attractive woman, a lot of men, good or bad, will be approaching you. So you learn to just be cold and mean to them from the get-go. And only those who have so much confidence to come back again and again will get your attention. But usually I think it's a learned behavior of like, I just try to live my life, and there would be men approaching, and most men wouldn't be a good match. So of course
that's a really good look. That's a really good point. Speaking about men being attracted to a woman, if we go back to the dating apps, right? Men usually swipe like, okay, she's pretty, that girl is pretty. They just swipe, or they might be just swiping because they're bored, right? In real life situations, if they're in the club on an outing, they will only approach a woman who's their type. And every single man has a type. Either they want to admit it or not. Certain men have specific type, right? Either it's looks or personality. I mean, let's talk mostly probably about the looks, right? And therefore, it's very important to go out and meet somebody in person, go on either first date or meet somebody for the first time, whenever they're doing some kind of sports or activity or whatever, so that person would be truly attracted to you, not just because, hey, we matched, now we have to make things work because we think we have some kind of chemistry or attraction, but deep inside, that might not be a true match. So for women, and for men, it's very important to go on the first date as soon as possible rather than dragging, texting for months and weeks, right? To see in person that,
even like before first dates, people just need to be out more, and people need to relearn how to just be social with strangers that you like and that you don't like, right? So like I think it would be quite sad if people would only approach people that they find sexually attractive. Sometimes it's funny,
just to have a human interaction.
Yeah,
right?
just to come to some grandma with the cool hat that said something like.
I know. I always have better conversations with older folks because they have life stories to share.
Older people are amazing.
Yeah, sense of humor, right? And I feel like younger generation, obviously, they grew up on the phones. They grew up, with the internet, with their tablet on the phone. Like as soon as they're a few months old, they already have a tablet, right? They have a phone, which is sad. So
you do not learn how to read social cues, right? From the face and body
even
language.
Eye contact is important. I was actually talking about this with another friend the other day. how it's important to be able to maintain, sustain an eye contact. I would ask our audience to, maybe have a little homework or a little test when you go next time to the gym or walking down the street. You know, look at the other person in the
That's
eye.
tough. That's
It was
tough.
so tough. I tried to do that.
That's
Trust me,
tough.
I'm a social person, right? I'm like,
Oh.
okay, I'm in the gym. I'm going to look both, not just men and women, and have the eye contact. And it was so difficult because the second I have that eye contact, they look away, right? And I look away. I'm like, oh my man, it's so difficult. So once I started to practice that and exchange that energy, right? You're like, okay, you're gaining that confidence. You're gaining back those social skills. I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but
You
I
think it's the same thing for men and women, like doing eye contact?
well, the thing is nowadays, of course, if the girl looks at the guy, it kind of sends the signal, hey, I like you, but it shouldn't be that way, right? It's just the
I don't know. Maybe I think it should be because, as a woman, you just go about your day, you're doing your thing,
Yeah.
creating things, having fun. And if somebody catches your attention long enough for you to meet eyes, it means like, oh, you are an interesting thing.
Well, you have to smile also. So okay, let's break it down. If you just have an eye contact with the person, it
That's
means
still
you
pretty
acknowledge. It's like dogs, right? They coming to each other, tagging their tails, and like saying hello. It's kind of like hello. I acknowledge you there. You're human. I recognize you, right? I'm not on my phone. I'm present. If you have an eye contact and you add a smile, which is the next level. I know it's hard.
I don't know.
sorry.
I'm always
But not
smiling.
every
I think
single
when I
guy
meet
will
the
say,
person.
like he will never ever get to the point where you smile. He was like right away will look away.
I think it's the danger for women that you again will attract a man that you didn't mean to attract. So I think which can be scary.
Well, you see through, right? Obviously, if you are attractive and you're happy, you're gonna attract all kinds of men.
Oh wait, is
But-
that the purpose, to attract the guy?
well, let's say if you're interested in somebody, right, and you are in an outing, like you're in the bar, you have an eye contact with somebody, you smile. That's kind of a signal for the guy to approach and offer like a drink or start a conversation.
So you're going by male looks, which I think.
What do you mean?
Okay, so you look at the room. You
Right,
don't
you
know.
scan the room.
You scan the room. You don't know anybody's level of education. You don't know how clean their apartment
Yeah,
is.
Malai, you already have your standards so high. You have to lower them a little bit nowadays, okay? Lower a little bit your standard. You just need to start a conversation because, well, the thing is like, look, that's the thing. So with apps, you know right away their religion, their political views, are they smoking, they're using drugs, like, all of that, right? It's kind of, you're already going through a catalog, right? Without knowing the person. We're talking about if you meet somebody in a social outing and you have that kind of chemistry. You know that a woman, I think it takes about 7 seconds for a woman to know if she likes the man, if she's compatible with him, if she wants to continue.
Sounds about right. Yep.
Right? So we need those 7 seconds in person to really
Yeah.
know, is it a match or not in person, right?
Okay.
So you wouldn't know all of the other things. That's why the whole purpose of dating is to get to know each other, right? The whole purpose of dating is, okay, we have the level of attraction. Okay, first date, we have that chemistry. But guess what? Now we get to the next stage. Now we're dating with the purpose, surprise, to get to know each other. And how do you get to know each other, right? Through different activities. Men are all about action and women all about reaction. They usually say woman is a mirror of a man. If the man treats a woman with respect, with kindness, with sweetness, woman will reciprocate. If the
Makes
guy's
sense.
already cautious, oh, I don't know this type of girl, or she might be this, she might be promiscuous, or I don't know. If you're already careful, if you already have this kind of second thoughts, you're not gonna provide that safe space for a woman to open up and trust you. And especially nowadays, I feel like women are already so guarded and it's so hard for them to open up. So men should kind of provide that comfortable space for a woman to show her true self.
So then a woman needs a man to show her true self, to be feminine. Is that what you think you're saying?
Well, the reason I'm saying it, because from my experience, even though you have your own character, personality traits, with every man, a woman would feel different, right? It's still the same woman, but one guy can provide more safety, more, if he jokes, if he makes you feel beautiful, if he does little things for her, she will open up. She'll be more open and reciprocate to gestures. She'll be more playful. She'll feel more relaxed, right? And with another guy, she'll be more cautious. She like try to pretend. Have you ever seen like the thing, if you first date, the girl is like joking and awkward, and like that means she likes you. If the girl is like too pretentious, quiet, trying to be somebody she's not, it means she doesn't feel comfortable enough to be herself, to be relaxed enough with that man, right? So what I'm saying is she could be feeling different with every man.
So is femininity different?
She's still staying her feminine, but I'm saying she wouldn't open to the guy that she's not comfortable with.
So
It doesn't mean she's less feminine.
It still sounds to me that femininity has to be okay. Or I'll speak for myself, right? Like femininity is very costly in the modern society. Costly, personally, for a woman, because to be that person that is traditionally, I guess, or not even traditionally, modernly feminine, right? We're not talking about like I don't know,
1950s.
Yeah, I'm not gonna list things that but so modernly feminine, right? Like you look a certain way, you feel a certain way. It's costly because it means you have to be at peace. You had some relaxing moments. You didn't have to play boss bitch at work. I'm gonna say it loud now. Right, you didn't have to pretend to be somebody else at work, right? So it's very costly. So right now in the modern world, if you are an ambitious woman, you will be doing a lot of things, and you can also kind of pretend to be feminine by being like, you have a very strict routine, you're going to the gym, you're doing everything right, you are on time, you did your hair perfectly, your nails is on time. So to me, when you already put a female in the structure like this, it loses the femininity aspect of it. Because to me,
be like water.
Yeah, so feminine nature to me is like, yeah, you are imperfect, you're a little crazy, you are playful, you are the child spirit, you create, you experiment, you probe, you trigger, right? You are cheeky, you are not just this humanoid female that somebody created with the perfect butt at the gym and everything is perfect on you. This is when you're perfect and you're restricted like this, you're not creating much, you're just stamping, right? Like it's a, what is it called, trafaret, right? Like
like a
stencil, right? Is
stencil,
yeah, whatever, right? You just like replicating whatever has been replicated for you on social media. But I think the true feminine energy is, it has this disturbance in it, right? So nature is feminine, right? It's imperfect, but it captivates you.
But it's like a beautiful flower, right? The thing is, you can destroy it, or you can nourish it, like from the guy's perspective, right? So have you seen a relationship where the woman was, nurturing, happy, joyful, and then she gets into the toxic relationship where, the guy is sucking out of her energy, he doesn't treat her right, he puts her down with small little gestures. You can see how even her looks dim, right? Her eyes stop sparkling, right? She's not as confident anymore. So women are very gentle creatures that need to be nourished, right? Need to be, I'm not saying like taken care of, but men should be appreciative, right? They should be, admiring your woman, right? If you don't, so in a relationship, if the man is not admiring the woman and if the woman is not respecting her man, this is where the balance gets off. It should be a healthy balance where a woman with the man that she respects, that she, is proud of, and she always supports, and man is a woman who he adores, who he wants to do things for her, which I call unconditional love. In modern dating, I hear all the time, it's too expensive to take a girl on a date. It's like $200, $300, $600 per for dinner. And I'm thinking, well, obviously you do not take every girl, 20 girls to that special one date. You only take that one special woman who you have special connection for that special date. And or if you cannot afford to take your woman to a nice place, then be creative, plan a date. Show your woman that you can plan, because if a man cannot plan a date, how can a man plan his life with you? So if a man cannot plan and figure out where to take your woman, organize the date, pick her up or offer to pick her up or make sure she gets home safe, take care of that first date, make you feel good, then with his actions, he shows the woman that he's the partner she can rely on. Then the woman gets safe and confident. Of course, now we're getting back to the dual. Somebody can argue saying, okay, there's a lot of ungrateful women, and I agree with that. Women forgot how to be grateful, right? They need to be grateful for the good gestures that men do for them.
Is it ungrateful women, or people just are not finding their match? Okay, so to me, like as you're talking, I'm thinking about the classic take a woman for expensive dinner. So I haven't even thought about this concept until I started, I guess, exploring the dating scene here. Just like even bringing up money is just you have to be polite around that topic, and with women especially. But anyhow, so for some people, money and all of that showing off status is important, right? So I envision there would be these people who high paying, stressful jobs, they're like all around money, they're all about looks. This is important for their jobs. Like my friends need to see me in this super expensive restaurant. Somehow I feel like I want to associate these people with a little less soul, because in order to make that much money, you have to be able to disregard other people's emotions to kind of push your own agenda in your business.
People might argue that, but okay.
You think so? I think a lot, but bring it on. Let's talk about it.
Let's continue.
So I feel like there's a little bit less soul, but there would be a match for that person, right? So if you're a woman, let's start with the woman. Like if you're a woman and you enjoy things for show, you have to look for the man who has the same values as you, who likes the very, very expensive restaurants with little food, and maybe food quality is not too good, not too tasty.
But you can take beautiful Instagram pictures.
But you can take beautiful pictures there. Yeah, so just find your match. Because, so when I think about myself, what do I prefer? Like, what would show me more in a man if he took me to a super expensive restaurant, or if he provided me an experience? Like, I don't know what is happening to me. He thought about everything. And this is like a key thing, I think, for women. Ability to plan in a man. So he planned something
like an adventure, right?
An
maybe
adventure.
Like a picnic on the beach.
Yeah, exactly.
Or maybe like a beautiful hike. He found a really romantic hike that you can go and spend
and there's
time.
like maybe the whole day, right? We eat here and then we go there and then we see this, and it's fun and it's light, and then we finish on time. You get to know each other, right? And like you finish on time. You're not like exhausted, like, oh my god, it's been 15 hours and I'm too polite to tell him stop, right? So like he senses, so that thought that the person is like, you are important enough for me to prepare in advance, to worry about this in advance. Honestly, that would be more for me, more impressive than just taking me to a super expensive restaurant. Because in my mind, personally, I wouldn't be thinking, oh my god, this restaurant is so expensive. I would be thinking about like, where are they sourcing the ingredients? Why is there not enough salt, or sauces don't match?
Yeah, but then you have another extreme where the guys, we'll just have coffee, right? To me, again, it's also just to see if I like you enough to.
This
like,
is already
minimum
bitter
effort.
people. Like, this is people who have placed themselves in the position that they have encountered hundreds probably of people, and they didn't take time to connect. And I think it's impossible. They got disappointed. It's impossible to get to know that many people, right? And then they're like, they're exhausted. Like, okay, let's just go for coffee. Right. And women don't really look too well on it, because they do not take into account that, the dude is exhausted. He's been buying dinners since 1995. He's exhausted. He just wants coffee now. They see it as a extremely low effort thing that, he can, how many coffees can you have per day? Like you can squeeze in 16 coffees with 16 different women. So somehow for a woman
it's more like a conveyor, right? Obviously you have to approach.
And so I don't know if you think about things this way, but in my mind I'm always like thinking, what is the ideal case scenario?
Well, I want to go back. I want to go back a little bit before I lose my thought.
Okay.
To it's when you mentioned it's not the right match, right? For example, the guy could complain, I did everything for this girl. I bought her a car. I helped her with her education. I helped her, in her life. I did all of that. And in return, she used me, right? Or she didn't supported me when I was weak or when I was sensible. I needed her help. Then I go back and ask, okay, what type of woman was that woman? Was it a beautiful, gorgeous girl that you just want to be, a trophy wife, a girl you would be so proud to take with you and showcase to your friends, then if that's the type of woman you pick who only cares about her look, about her appearance, then that would be her value. So we go back to the basics, saying, okay, you need to find your match. And going back, you need to find what are your values, what's important to you, right? If
But
it's
so difficult when somebody is hot.
Exactly. Well, the thing that's why many men are getting hurt, disappointed. That's it just
That's
kind
why
of
dating apps should just die. So
I mean, they should, because in a sense, imagine the world where none of the dating apps work from tomorrow. Imagine people's eyes like, oh my God, I have to go out and plan and meet somebody and start a conversation and be consistent.
yeah, let's do that. Let's overcome that feeling. Let's
It's
do that for a week.
It's a very uncomfortable feeling. It's a feeling of fear of rejection, I think, for men, right? But the thing is, men should think this way, right? Even if the girl rejected you, that's fine. You don't have high expectations. You practice your charisma, you practice your conversation skills. Because the thing is, I've heard someone, which was really funny, said, never ask a really handsome guy how to get girls, because all he has to do is just stand in the club, in the bar, and all the girls will come to him. Ask a freaking ugly hobbit guy how to get the girls, and he
Who's
will
married?
have and I bet
got
he
the
will
girl,
have crazy funny stories, because he needs to be funny, he needs to be witty, he needs to pay attention to them, and I'm sure he will know how to have a conversation with the woman, right?
And the sphere of rejection is if you put all stakes on that rejection, like this is the only thing that matters in my life, like this woman, what she says, and this is like so important, it totally defines my value as a human being. If you put all that pressure on the situation, it's pretty tough. But I always advocate for knowing more people. If you know more people, you will gravitate towards one of these people more, and you don't have to worry about rejection and blah. But if you have to be asking girls out, right? It's like it's not because maybe you'll hate the girl when you start talking to her as well, right? You don't know, right? So it has to be a game, and the game of flirting is really fun and really forgotten art. Right? And it's flirting is probing. So if we talk about the classic scenarios, I don't know, again, if modern people still go to bars and drink and approach people there, but to me, this is what it is. Like, you approach somebody and you probe, right? You not necessarily come in, okay, I'm here to marry you, do you accept or not? And it's like, no, okay, bye, okay. It's you come in and you probe, oh hi. You ask something and you see how the girl is responding. And guys, the girl has to be less approachable. It's part of the job. So if
They
you
need
think
to work for it a little bit, right?
If you think that she rejected you because she's like, oh, I don't drink. When you're like, oh, can I buy you a drink? And she's like, I don't drink. If you think this is a rejection, come on, it's part of the test.
And you know what? I want
It's
to
a
point
test.
out that if the man really, really likes a woman, he's not going to take a no for an answer.
Except at the bar. At the bar, they.
Well, at the bar-
Actually, no. We had that too. The guys were trying to approach us, and we would be like, no.
And how many times? No. So many times, and still they would keep up the conversation, right? Because they're really into you.
Yeah.
So, and I think,
and it's a game, and I think it's fun. This is what we
but
want.
you know what? Don't forget that the harsh reality. I'm sorry to voice it out, but it's not about, oh, he's not committed, or he's not consistent. He's just not that into you. The thing is, I think this is the harsh reality that most people cannot accept. They think, oh, he ghosted me, or he didn't respond to me, or he wasn't consistent, or he wasn't ready. Trust me, if the guy meets his type and he's really into the woman and he feels there's something going on, he will be persistent. He will not give up. A year from now, a month from now, he will still get back to that woman because he feels there's something special.
Yeah.
If there's a rejection, it means okay, he just got an affirmation that, okay, he's just not good enough because he didn't put enough
Wasn't
effort.
that interested.
He
yeah.
wasn't that interested, right? And I think that's a harsh reality to accept for many, that even though we have the illusion of so many choices, is just we're still in search of that perfect match. And when you find that match, you're gonna do anything and everything, compromise.
But hold on, is that the point though? Is that the point, to find a perfect match? And this is an
Yes.
issue. Hold on, this is an issue that's been on my mind for a while, right?
Yeah.
to me, perfect match sounds like a very instantaneous thing. You see somebody like when you are when it's passion, right?
Okay.
This is where you're like, or lust, right? You can see, wow, this person is just blowing my mind. Wow, this is a match, right? And they respond to it. This is a match. Bang, right? Or is the purpose to be like, it's impossible to go through all the available people and find the best match out of them all? Because eventually you will run out of time because you will die, right? Or there's just like, some people will move to a different country and you're not going to get to that sample, right? So eventually there's going to be limitations, or like you will lose interest, something will happen, right? So maybe the point isn't to find the perfect match, but the point is to find a person who is willing to participate in this fun project of life, right? I think this is where the values part to me is, right? You find a person who's as willing to participate in life as you are,
and as invested,
right? And then they can be a completely different person from what you think your type is, or whatever that is. And the true art of this, life and relationship is to figure out, because I personally love the challenge, right? But you figure out how to make the best life with this human. Right? So instead of just like waiting, and then you went through 10,000 men, women, and then finally, this is the one. And guess what? 7 years later, you're like, oh my God, you never changed your toothbrush or something, right? Like you find out something crazy about them that it took years to find out.
I agree. So let me voice out the 4 steps. I mean, there's a theory. There's 4 steps to a happy, fulfilling relationship.
Okay.
Step number 1 is the one-sided chemistry, right? You like somebody, you're attracted to them, you want to get to know that person better, you want to be with that person. Step number 2, it's a mutual attraction. So both people in the bar, in the university, at the school, at the environment, they meet and they're both attracted to each other. Many couples stay on this 2 stages, right? Okay, we're attracted, we're having amazing sex, we have great chemistry, but this is where it ends for most couples. Stage number 3, it's commitment. It's when both partners, either they voice it out or, unspoken, saying we're going to be exclusive, we want to move in, or we want to be in a relationship, or we want to get married. This is the decision they make, that they want to commit to each other. They decide that that's what they're going to do. Again, most of the couples stay in this stage, but yet guess what? They are not considered in a happy, fulfilling relationship.
Gosh,
because
what's the 4th one?
So the 4th one is called compatibility. Once you get married or once you're together, this is where you find out, does he change his toothbrush, once per 7 years? This is where you find out, does he also like to wake up early as you, right? Or he is an owl and you're early bird? Does he is of the same religion as you? Is it important to you? How he's gonna treat your parents when they, pass away. How he's gonna treat your friends. This is where compatibility comes into place. If you're on a vacation, do you just want to read a book and lay it back and just suntan, or you want to freaking get the ball, go play, be active and go hiking? And the other person like, look, I just want to relax in the hotel. And that's where you start arguing, because one person wants to do one thing, another person wants to do another thing. All these different dynamics. That's where these 4 stages come in place, where you kind of go through attraction, chemistry, right? Like we talked about finding a perfect match, right? But again, yet, if both people in the same stage of life, let's say both people want to be in a relationship, not like, oh, I don't know where I want to be right now, I haven't found myself, or I'm not ready for this, right? So both, let's say, partners want the same thing. And once they do, it's not enough. Now, this is how they life test them, right? Are they truly compatible? And those people who are willing to a little bit compromise are truly in a happy, fulfilling relationship. Because, for example, their wife likes to sleep a little bit longer, and husband wakes up at 6 a.m. It could be an argument. It could be like, you know what, honey? I'm going to make you a latte later. Relax, enjoy your time. But then when he comes from work, she's like, you know what, honey? I know you work so hard. I made dinner for you. And it's appreciative. And the husband makes an action and the wife, expressing gratitude. So that's compatibility in a sense. But if one person's like, you know what, it's too much for me to change, it means like they just don't want to put any effort. It's too much for them to sacrifice or sacrifice the freedom, what they may think, right? To make these little steps to be in those fulfilling relationship. You know what I mean?
So how the hell are we supposed to get through all of that through the dating apps?
Well, no, look, okay, dating apps, I guess this is just like you are in a secondhand shop and you browsing through different things, use things.
You need to put the quote reference or
bad things. And then you find that one amazing item that you like, unique, vintage, exclusive, like the color you like, the shape you like, you're attracted to that. You find that. And guess what? That's just the one small step. And after that small step, guess what? You need to start getting to know each other. But again, if both partners are in the same stage in life, right? Then they go out, they get to know each other. And the best way, again, to get to know each other is through some actions, right? Go to a museum, then go out, maybe go into the nature. I think the best way to challenge and test an early relationship is go on a short trip. I think 2-day trip.
I wouldn't go with a guy I don't know on a short trip.
Well, of course, not a stranger. You get to know them through other.
At what
I
point?
mean, this is obviously we're not talking about the first day.
I know
Come on.
we have
I'm saying how do you get to know somebody?
I know we have different approaches to this. And
Okay, so
I
tell
think,
me.
yeah, okay. This is, I guess, goes back to what I was saying, that my brain works into like envisioning what is the ideal case scenario and trying to think how to get there. So all of these things of understanding what kind of person they are, right? Because I think even doing things that you don't normally do, like going to a museum together, stuff like this, it will show you something about the person, but they will still try to show you their best, right? So there's like, it's tricky. So in my mind, ideal case scenarios, would it be possible to get to know this person without the pressure of telling them that they're potentially a candidate for a relationship? And to me, like how to create that situation is when you have a lot of people, and I think very important to have mixed genders, mixed whatever group of friends. This is the opportunity to get to know a person without the pressure of them, like you potentially
you getting to a very important point. You're getting to a very important point, which worked years before the dating apps, which is, have you heard, I married my best friend, right? So I guess the
let's
point,
recreate that.
Right, recreate that. So I guess the point is to become friends before you are sexually engaged with each other, right? Or romantically engaged with each other, right? So become friends first. But how to become friends first, right? You need to do,
personal responsibility.
Personal responsibility.
So who else, if not you, is going to create the group of friends of, I don't want to use the word high value, but the value that is matching your friend groups, right? And then you're either going to wait for somebody else, or it's fine, right? Not everybody is a leader, right? The people who are leaders among us, they're the ones who organize and stuff, right? And there are people who are leaders and there are people who are supporters, right? So if you are not the leader to organize things, be a very great supporter to a person who is putting an effort to do that. Right? It means show up, bring value, look for other people who are also interesting and great, and bring them into your friend group, right?
But see, we're looking for instant gratification.
How is it instant gratification?
No. I'm saying in opposite what you were saying. Let's say if you don't invest in friendships, so you're looking for instant gratification. Just meet a person, as many people as possible, to see if you match, to see if you have chemistry, right? And you're looking for that instant result. Because people don't want to invest their time.
Maybe people just don't know. Maybe people just don't know that that's what it takes. So to me, I think the few times that I fell in love, it was by knowing a person first. So first it's just this random person that I have encountered in my life. And somehow it happens that we see each other several times. And it would be like you get to know the person like anybody else, right? Okay, we're eating together or something, we're dancing together, doing things. And there would be this moment where it's like, hold on a second.
Because there was no pressure, right? There was no pressure. You need to find your match. You need to like be in a relationship right now.
You think because of the timing wise?
No, because there was no pressure, meaning like you are looking a relationship with this specific person, right? You're just enjoying your
Yeah, and I think
time.
that's how it's supposed to be,
Exactly. So
right?
you're enjoying
Love
your
happens to
time.
you. That's how it's
Right.
supposed to be. And
Right.
it's like it's within reach, people. Come on. We can just, this is how you spend your time. And it's not like once a year you go out to a party. This is, you do
Yeah,
it.
but let's speak about unsocial people who don't have many friends, who, let's say, I personally don't
Yeah,
like
they're
to
doomed.
hang out. Thanks.
No,
Like,
like
see,
you.
I don't like to like go to this, high crowded events or go like to social events. I'm more private, right? I'm more a little bit of a loner. So to me,
And there's a lot of people like you.
right. So what do we do? The loners, right, who also want to find companionship, right? To want to find the right person, but we're not intentionally looking for those activities, right? We're not intentionally looking, okay, like I'm gonna play, volleyball, or I'm gonna go to like a book club, right? Or things I might like. I know, for example, like my potential partner wouldn't be like sitting in a library, right? I like to go to bookstores. I don't think there would be, say, a match for me.
Yeah, but here's the thing, that the idea is you have to expose yourself to as many people as possible, and it's not intentional. It's just, I think it's part of the joys. We have this option in life to be exposed to a lot of different people, and we should utilize that option because people are great, people are interesting. There's a lot going on in each person. You need to have a little bit of patience. There's, but a lot of people have a lot of interesting things about them, and I think just having your mindset like this, that, oh, let me explore people, right? It's already very helpful. And so again, are you providing value to humanity, to everybody around you, or are you just sitting at home thinking, I'm by myself, I want a partner, right? And I kind of would want to, I don't know, my opinion, right, to discourage just going for speed dating, right? Events specifically meant to meet the singles, because it takes away the right, the cool thing of how we met, right? But instead, like, so I went to do tree planting with the
You went tree planting?
yes, yeah.
Okay.
That was a while ago, so it's not like I didn't tell you. It was like
okay.
when was it? Maybe a couple of years ago.
Okay.
But because it started with, what is it that I like? What is it that I love doing? And I love plants, I love nature, and trees are great. And I was looking for, wow, there's opportunity to plant more trees. I want to be part of it. So I found a group that plants trees in the city. It's like, to me, it was, super great thing. And so I went to do it, and there's a lot of people who are doing the same thing. And you just, like, I met all these cool humans who are also interested about, like, on their native plants shortage in California, and there's all these native plants you can plant. There's all these websites, and I was like, oh wow. So I learned a lot, right? But I met people too, and these were women that I met, and I did, nothing happened out of that, right? Again, it's like up to us what we do with people that we encounter. But this is your gateway to meeting more other people. So if you have a full connection, right? To me, it would be like, I don't know, text the girl and be like, so what was that website you told me about, native plants? Or are you doing any other plant events? And you hang out with this person, right? You have a connection. And then this person one day will be like, oh, I'm having a birthday party with my friends. You want to come over? And you come over, and then you meet all kinds of different people that you can encounter, right? That it's, I hate to say it, but it can be your potential partner, right? So it's not necessarily going to an event that will be so fruitful and result with you finding your other half. It is an event that will open doors for other things.
Well, to summarize, we're going to give again a little assignment to our listeners and viewers. Number one, maybe go out with intention, meaning plan, right? Plan the activity. Plan the activity with other people to socialize, right? So get yourself out of the house.
That is a great plan. Do what you like. Yeah. No, I'm serious. So
I feel the sarcasm in it. It's like, that is a great
because
plan, but you do.
Let's stay away from useless things that you will never do again, like a one-time thing.
Okay, let's give just one step. Okay,
Yeah,
one thing.
one
What is
step.
that one thing? Let's say for those who feel lonely and then they want to socialize. What's the first thing?
Okay, maybe I'll say this, right? So this is a public announcement to men, right? So it's all on you guys. It's all on you. If you want a woman who is feminine, right, that you will enjoy company with, you have to go out and approach women, different kind of women, and approach them not to seduce them. Approach them to make them have a fun little time, right? Because that small talk, the little joke, the conversation, the little compliment, it's a little interaction, and it's great. And it normalizes amongst people to socialize in real life. So I think I would kind of emphasize that.
No, I think this is actually you outdid me with this closing notes.
I outdid you.
You outdid
Okay.
me with the closing notes, because that's true. We encourage men to go out and not be fearful to approach women, to have a conversation, pleasant conversation, treat them nicely. And the little message to women: be grateful, be respectful, be kind, take care of yourself. And we have high hopes for the humanity.
humanity,
For the humanity. Well, on this note, we will wrap up this episode of the Basic Show.
So short.
I know. Well, hopefully, if you guys stay till the end, we thank you so much. It will really help if you subscribe, if you comment, if you follow our channel. That'll be a huge help. So please stand by for the next episodes. Let us know in the comments if you have any other topics you would like us to discuss and share with you. We will be more than happy to do that. I had my sister, Anna Pashuta, as my special guest today on the
Thank you so
Basic
much.
Show. Thank you for coming and sharing your experience with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mara.